So who would be a higher up or supervisor to you in your workplace?
To me, the site manager is, in my work environment, she's the one that's actually in charge of the entire environment. In charge of myself is my Human Resources Director. She's out of a different site, but she's the one that is who I answer to.
Comfortable with communicating with them fully everything you need to?
Absolutely.
Or any conflicts or anything like that?
Well, as is the site manager and the assistant site manager, we have weekly one-on-ones, no matter what, just so that we can touch base. But typically I do not get through a day where one of the other is in my office or I'm in their office just to brief them on something.
A negative or positive communication situation in your workplace, can that have an effect on the rest of your day?
It can. Well, positive is always good because it's uplifting. What we strive for is to, one of our other culture standards of our 5 different pieces to it is positive. Positive communication, positive attitude, uplifting each other. So if there's somebody who's displaying negative communication, whether that be to a coworker, to a supervisor, to somebody on the phone that they're talking to, it's important for us to nip that in the bud, to actually bring them in, to talk to them about our culture, reestablish the importance of it, and to make sure that everybody's on the same page and are only using positive communication between each other.
Great. Are there any major communication concerns for your particular workplace?
The only concerns that I have, and it's in reference to the fact that we're in one job site, my manager is in another job site, and sometimes there can be a delay in our communication.
Participating in the group dodgeball, being with some of the people you work with regularly, do you think that has any positive or negative effects on your communication in the workplace?
For me, it doesn't, because I have to separate the two completely and totally because of the sensitivity that I work with in my particular position. Whenever I step outside that field, anything regarding the workplace goes bye-bye. For my position, there's minimal conflict. Just again, because of the type of position I hold, whenever I'm having conversations with people that are on the floor, whether they're CSR supervisors, etc., they're usually of a sensitive nature, often behind closed doors. Discussion doesn't go past the 4 walls, and so I have very minimal. That's the nature of the business. With the customer service representatives, they're working as teams together in pods, and we really encourage them to work together coherently as a group. There can be problems. There's different personalities. There's different ways of doing things, and so we have seen some conflicts in terms of that. Again, it's important for all of upper management to keep that open lines of communication, to work through any issues like that, and we try to, again, catch them early, work through them, and come to a resolve quickly. Open lines of communication. We always say if you're having an issue with one of your coworkers, always best to approach it directly one-on-one without trying to get somebody else involved. If it really requires somebody, upper management or supervisor, to get involved, then you go that step further. If that does not resolve the issue, then they have the site manager to deal with. If it's of a sensitive nature, potentially I can be involved in that as well. What I find myself doing is finding what makes somebody tick. Because you can get the most production out of someone if you understand what is important to them, what manner they work in, and how they handle feedback, how they handle change, because there's a lot of evolution, a lot of change in the type of position that we're in. And so that's really how I handle it. I don't really classify it as appeasing somebody, but I just classify it as being flexible and adhering to other people's Everybody learns in a different manner, they process in a different manner, and it's really important to make things flow smoothly that you pick up on those different personality traits. I always like to approach it head on. I don't like things to fester. I don't like to put it on the back burner. I know you can't sweep it under a piece of carpet and it goes away. And so I like the direct approach. Go to whomever you're having the issue with. Say, we're adults. Let's talk one-on-one on this. Let's get it out in the open and approach.
How would you say conflict and communication your workplace as a whole is?
Well, there's always going to be conflict. Anytime you get 100 and plus people together in the same building that works day in, day out and see each other probably more than they see their family, there at some point is going to be some sort of conflict. The nice thing is that we have a group of supervisors, we have a group of upper management that recognizes it and knows that it's important to approach any conflict, talk through it, be open about it, and not push everything under the rug. And so as a result, we have a really positive atmosphere.